Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2. And today's episode will be on supercharging your meditations. Before we even get started, I want to ask you, as the audience, actually a couple things. Well, one question in particular, and that would be when you meditate, what do? Right? Most people, when I ask, what do? They usually tell me, well, I visualize myself having all these things that I want, etc. But that is not meditation, that is visualization. So there are two different things. And yes, you do need both, and you should do the both of them. However, they are two separate things. You can spend some time doing visualization, which I recommend you do. But then when you do meditation, the whole point is to let your subconscious be the one that is loud and clear. And the best way I usually explain this is picture a room full of speakers, right? You have a speaker that's playing house music, a speaker that's playing rap music, a speaker playing heavy metal. You have all these speakers playing music. Imagine the headache you would have of being in a room with all of these speakers up really loud, and there's one speaker that is the speaker of your thoughts, but you can't hear it. You can't hear it because you keep empowering other speakers with other music. You keep turning on different speakers. What am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Or whatever, whatever happens out there, whatever you have in your mind for the day. But in reality, the only way to shut down these speakers is through the process that I'm going to explain to you today. So please stick around, share this episode with your friends or family, like the channel, subscribe, hit alerts, and that's the way to keep this coming for you. I do this for you. I mean, I'm trying to share the things that I have put myself through the ringer for as a guinea pig to test that these things do work, and they do work. And I will share a story with you at the end that is really kind of wild, but it was like, I think, the universe's way of showing me, hey, River, this is the reason why this is so powerful. Now, I want to start by bringing up, I'm going to give you 3 steps as to what to do when it comes down to meditation. So make sure you write them down, and just also feel free to follow us on the YouTube channel. Again, thank you for being here, and just keep coming back, and for more nuggets that I have, and hopefully you find some of this stuff resonates with you. Even if it's just one of the things that I shared that resonates, well, then that's awesome. That's what it's about. So number 1, way to supercharge your meditation. And the first step is, and I'm sure you've heard of this, but just bear with me all the way through the end and you'll see what I'm talking about. But number 1 is to release anxiety by becoming aware of your breath. And that is physical anxiety, because a lot of times we have stress from the day, our bodies. Have you ever had a scare, and even hours later, you think about it and you still kind of like, whoa, that was crazy, right? Your body is still holding on to that energy. So who knows what energy you have from the day, whether it was stress, heartbreak, doesn't matter. You still are holding on to it, and we need to become really conscious of what it is, and we do that through breath work. So breath work is very gentle too. It's nothing. You could do a breathwork exercise, which gets very intense. There are those, and I do recommend those. There's a place for those as well. Right now, we're just talking about very simply inhaling through your nose, holding your breath, and exhaling gently through your mouth. That's it. Now, doing that will bring your body to a relaxed state. Okay. We are, at least in my belief, if you believe as I do, then this will work, I guess. I believe we're spiritual beings that live in a body, and we have a mind, all working together, right? To give us this human experience that we have on this planet. Now, the body, I mean, if we're hungry, I mean, we feel that, right? So the body brings a lot of feelings into our experience. So that's what the five senses, right? Now, this is why releasing the anxiety and stress by becoming aware of your breath is very important. Okay, so that is step one for sure that I'm gonna share with you. The second step, and I'm putting these up here so that you can actually, you know, incorporate these. You know, you can write them down or screenshot it, whatever works best. But step two is to quiet the mind through counting, because numbers are neutral. It's so important to know that, because nobody ever thought, oh my God, I love number 7, but I hate number 2. It's like, nobody hates any numbers. And so the reason you count is because we are constantly in flux with positive and negative. Imagine this is a neutral line right here. And you just bought a car. You're like, oh my God, my car, this is positive and negative. You're like, oh my God, my car is amazing. And you're like, oh my God, the insurance is $200 a month. Now you feel negative. And you're like, oh, I'm going to Disneyland. It's amazing. Oh my God, it's going to cost me $4,000. Negative. And you're constantly doing this up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the day. Every second of the day, you're constantly fluctuating with that. So what you want to do is count. As you're breathing, you're counting. Now, this is the pattern that I use. I inhale for 5 as I count in my mind. I hold. And I release for 10. Now, you do what works for you. I suggest to everyone start with the 5-5-5. It's very basic, very simple. But when you incorporate your breathing and your counting, you are relaxing your mind through counting and your body through breathing. Getting it to the point where you almost feel, a lot of people tell me, I feel like I'm about to fall asleep. You want to be almost there at that point where you want to go to sleep, but you're not going to sleep. So it's kind of, I always describe the inward feeling like when you're in a plane and you're about to start to descend, and you feel the plane drop in elevation, right? So you could feel it. Like, I feel that inside when I get to that place. So I just kind of just let it go and just out of nowhere. So you keep counting, breathing and counting in this way, inhaling, holding, and exhaling over and over and over and over and over and over. Don't stop. And I promise you, the first time it might take you 10 to 15 minutes. But as you do this repeatedly, you'll get there in a minute, in a couple of cycles, three or four cycles of holding and breathing like this, and you get to that place. Now, what is that place? It's that place where you just know, all of a sudden you won't even count anymore. You just stop counting. And you just know you're there. And at that point, there's nothing to do. Nothing to do. You are in that perfect place. And all you need to be there for is 1 to 2 minutes. That's it. So this thing about people doing it for hours, I think has brought a very negative connotation to the word meditation, where people are just very like, oh man, I don't want to do this for an hour. Do I have to do an hour? Do I have to do half an hour? I got things to do. Well, if I told you that you can only do it for 5 to 7 minutes and the rest of your day flows, you don't chase after the day anymore. It comes to you. That's the reason why you want to do this. And I want to share the third step, which is probably one of the most important ones when you incorporate the other two, is that you want to release all expectation of time and space. You don't want to be, you'll no longer be concerned with where you're at. It's like you're no longer concerned with the time. And so when I say release all expectations of time, it's not because you want to release it so that you can do an hour. It's because you want to release it because you just want to get to that place, right? And don't put any pressure on yourself to get to that place, Very important. There's not You're not trying to accomplish anything here. You're just trying to relax. You don't do anything. Just breathe and count. Breathe and count. Breathe and count. Breathe, hold, exhale, count. Just do that all repetitively till you get there. There's nothing to accomplish. You're not trying to get anywhere. We're such hustlers in this society. I feel that we're always trying to accomplish something. And this is the one thing that requires you to do nothing but just relax. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to share a story with you about a good friend of mine that I had not seen in 12 years. And I remember one time I was meditating, and I think it was probably like, I don't know, less than 10 minutes. And when I opened my eyes, and by the way, usually don't get any type of signal during meditation, but it's afterwards. Afterwards, you find yourself doing things that are by accident, and they're actually guided. I remember I opened my eyes, and I was like, okay, I just knew it was time. I'm done. And something told me, go to Starbucks. And I was like, what Starbucks? I'm always at I go to coffee shops all the time, but which Starbucks? And I saw a couch. And that couch was of a particular one at a particular location in Phoenix. And so I went. But I was kind of hesitant at first because that couch is always taken. It was a very comfortable couch. But I got there anyways. And it was, to my surprise, coinkydink, right? It was available, so I sat there, started working for a little while, and out of nowhere, probably about 45 minutes into it or so, an hour into it, I noticed that the Wi-Fi was not working on my laptop, but it was working on my phone, and I was like, that's weird. Now, I had been thinking of a friend of mine, I should have brought this back, I had been thinking of a friend of mine that I had not seen in 12 years. And I had asked people, hey, have you seen this person? And everybody's like, nah. So as far as we're concerned, we don't know if he died or moved across to a different continent. We didn't know anything. But I was thinking about him for about a week or two. So now, getting back to this part, when something tells me, close your laptop, it's time to go. And I was like, oh, time to go. Put my laptop away. And then I felt this inspiration, go to the bathroom. I was like, I just came from the bathroom. Go again. I'm like, but I don't want to go. Just go again. So I go to the bathroom, try to make something happen, right? Nothing. It was like, what a waste of time. I come out and I notice when I came out of the bathroom, there was a line with probably about 6 people ordering coffee. And I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm done. Well, guess what? A voice tells me, now get in line and get a refill. I'm like, but I don't want a refill. And I could feel like get a refill, but I just had a refill. So keep in mind, at this time I had 2 venti iced coffees. I was probably over caffeinated already, and I did not want another one, And this voice was like, no, just stay there. So I was like, oh my goodness. So here I am in line. When I got to the barista, I'm like, can I get a refill? The barista was like, another one? I'm like, trust me, I don't want one, but yeah. Anyway. So I get my refill and I put the lid on, and I remember I started walking out thinking to myself, this is stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. What the heck am I doing? So I'm walking out and I open the door, and who am I holding the door open for? My friend that I had not seen in 12 years. But check this out. The crazy thing is, that's part of it, but the real crazy story is that he was working as an AC guy at a property that's really, it was on 59th Avenue. I'm on 19th Avenue. But not only that, I'm still about 4 miles inland into Phoenix, where the house he was working on was right off the freeway. Like literally, it's one of those streets that runs right next to the freeway. And he was like, I kept wanting, and I told him, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you. And we started, talking. And he goes, what's weird, River? He goes, man, I was right by the freeway on 59th Avenue, and for some reason, I just didn't want to jump on the freeway. I kept driving. When I got to 19th Avenue, which is where I was at the coffee shop, he goes, out of nowhere, I craved coffee, and I put Starbucks near me, and here I am. And I was like, and I forgot about it. I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, River, I hate coffee. And when he said that, it reminded me that we used to go get breakfast and he would order pancakes with a Coke because he hated coffee. If you ever met someone who hated coffee, this guy hated coffee. But think about this for a minute. Think about all the things that had to happen, all the green lights he had to catch. He had to finish the job on time. The traffic had to be perfect for him to get there at that time. He craved coffee at the exact time he needed to just to see me at that location. I had to I could have left as soon as I closed my laptop, right? But no, go to the bathroom. I also had to be kind of like, I don't know why, but I'm going to the bathroom, even though I didn't want to. I had to get in line after that, behind six people, when I was over caffeinated already, did not knowing why I was in line again for the third time. But I did that, and everything, even the people that were in front of me, they took the exact amount of time they needed to take for me to order my coffee at the exact time, my third refill, to be at the perfect time to open the door for my friend. So that is why I tell everybody who I use this now, more than anything. Like, I tell people, if you need a job, meditate. Why? Because this guy who hates coffee all of a sudden craves coffee just to meet with me. Oh, all of a sudden, why meditate? Oh, because there might be a position that they were not hiring for, but all of a sudden you applied. Guess what? A position just opened for you. Or guess what? That person doesn't like you. Meditate. Why? Because tomorrow, even though they don't like you, like this guy didn't like coffee, they might just like you. And who knows what kind of favor you have. Because after all, we are all connected. And this proves the power of meditation. Everything you want is only a meditation away. Friends, thank you for joining me. This excites me. This is a topic I'm very passionate about because I feel that this is one of the really foundational things that you can learn. And if nothing else, if you were stuck in an island and if I was stuck in an island with no cell phone and nothing, no way to get a hold of anyone, I would meditate because I know that somehow by accident, some boat, some plane, somebody would be like, I don't know why, but I want to go by that island. Let's see what's over there. And hey, guess what? There's a stranded person here, right? I mean, that's the power that we all have. So if you like this and much more of this type of content, please click like, share, comment, save the video, watch this, do this. This is an exercise that could change your life and change other people's lives around you. So please share this, and thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for more episodes like this one with different topics and also some guests. And I do also have meditation and also hypnosis videos coming up pretty soon. So they'll be written in such a way that it will allow your subconscious to accept information that is for your benefit and for your highest good. Thank you, everyone.